Okay, this lesson for the Cornet Project class, we'll look at Galatians 2:16 and Philippians 2:8 and notice what the faithfulness of Christ looks like. So we'll start with Galatians 2:16, and I'll use a different color for this persuasive participle, as I like to call it. Edotes. From Ado, G1492, Paul said, as ones who have noticed, as ones who have noticed, it's perfect tense, of course, and continue to notice. So have noticed in the past and are continually, presently noticing that. We have this negative particle, so we'll say no for the moment, and then I'll show the rationale for that. Dikai utai is being justified. That's a present indicative passive. Then we have anthropos. So no kind of man. There's no definite article here, so it's kind of man. And it's the word anthropology, where we get anthropology, so mankind. So kind of man without that definite article. And he mentioned bond nor free, male nor female, Jew nor Gentile in the letter. So no kind of man. So as ones who have noticed, continue to notice that no kind of man is being justified out from ergon, no article there, so it's any kind of works, from works nomu, of law. Then he said, except on may, except. And he goes and explains the means by which a man's justified, dia, through steos, that's faithfulness, Christou, Jesu. So Christ, make it possessive, Christ faithfulness, let me fix that, Christ faithfulness. So Jesus, Christ faithfulness, that means it's a possessive subjective genitive. Jesus Christ faithfulness. Kai, he said, even, as ones who've noticed that, even hemes, we ourselves. Now let's return to that color that matches the edotes. And here see the finite verb that's being modified, and or it's a adverbial participle. It's function adverbial to this finite verb, epistu samen. Remember that simple form of action, in a moment, not ongoing. In a moment, not ongoing. So even we ourselves believed into Christon. It's accusative. The object of the preposition H is always accusative. Jason, so Christ Jesus. And now he tells us the purpose with the purpose clause, hina, in order that, dekai o thoman, this is aorist also, it's aorist subjunctive, in order that we might be justified, passive, that we might be justified, declared right. And this is ek, out from pisteos, Christou, Christ possessive, faithfulness, his faithfulness, and Kai, and not out from ergon nomu, works of law. Notice how he's iterated this several times. Now we have this kappa here because we have a vowel, so, and not out from works of law. And he went on and said to continue to iterate this, dihote, on account that, so that takes care of hoti, and on account takes care of dia, that not dekai o thais, now we have the future passive, thais etai, will be justified, future passive, if you notice that. Now we have pasa, singular, and then we have sarx, flesh, sarx. So every kind of flesh, remember he's eliminating everything. Every kind of flesh will not be justified. He's already said no kind of man, male, female, Jew, Gentile, bond or free, is being justified out from works of any kind of law. Now he's concluding that every kind of flesh, whatever multivariate expression that would fall under the superordinate category anthropos in a study of anthropology, will be justified out from will not be justified out from, again, works of law, no move. So here we go. He has exhausted and made it so plain and clear. Now let's go to Philippians 2:8 and see what he said about Christ there. We have Kai, which is indeed. We'll use it emphatic. And then we have this term where we get schematic, schemati, locative case, schemati, in a shape. And then it's eured, like in eureka, when someone finds something, eureka, this is a passive, aorist passive participle. When he was found in a shape, hos, as or like, whichever one you prefer, anthropos, as a man. Then it says tapain nosen. Sa se samen, first person plural, we. Sa se third person singular. He humbled auton himself. And then we have this word genomenos. When it's from genomai, when he became, let's see, we've got Paul working this out very specifically and carefully. When he became heap, from hypo, under, and then it's got this word akuo, a voice, an obedient one. So he came to be under the voice of his father. And how long did he do that? Mekri, until, this is an adverb of time, so we're looking at the duration here, until thanatu, a death, no definite article, a death, so a kind of death is the emphasis here, a kind of death. And then for emphasis, we have death, indeed, thanatu, on it to a death, Stauru, a death of a cross. So Jesus, Isaiah 42:1 says that Jesus is the one who was elected. So he's exclusively the elect. He's the only one that's ever fulfilled the law, fulfilled all righteousness. He's the only one sinless, blemish free, without spot. The only one born free who could be the Redeemer. He's the only one who fulfilled all the law with all of his in thought, word, and deed in relationship to God the Father, thought, word, and deed in relationship to mankind. So his faithfulness, the faithfulness the Bible speaks of, as Paul said, when the faithfulness should appear, that's how the righteousness of God was made manifest. It's the righteousness of Christ that we have imputed to us. It's the only way we know what God's righteousness looks like, manifest, appears, and that's because of Jesus Christ's faithfulness. And we understand his faithfulness because he remained under the voice of his Father until a death, a kind of death. And so we have him with the uninterrupted, perfect, absolute obedience, and then became a curse and hanged on a tree. No one's done that. All we have up here is a dot. That moment where we believed into Christ Jesus. And that was because we were persuaded by the good news that no kind of man is being justified out from any kind of works of any kind of law except through Jesus Christ's faithfulness. So enjoy this lesson and free-handed it so you can grade and check the Koine grammar. I'll step out of the way for just a moment, let you see the board. But again, go back to freehanding if you haven't been, but this is a good lesson because I've quoted this before in light of the faithfulness, but I've never put Galatians 2:16 and Philippians 2:8 on the board at the same time. Have a blessed day.